Hello everyone, this is Miss Bitcoin Mai. Time flies so fast, there is only one more session left for this conference. The host of this closing special session are co-host of TBCC 2020, Mai and you. Hi you.
Hi Mai. Yeah, so it's very pleasure to see this very great guest in the end of this session. Actually, I, before crypto industry, working for visual programming art industry over 10 years. So it's very interesting to see the new up growing for NFT and arts and music now.
Yeah, sounds very great. And let me also introduce myself shortly. And I'm Mai. I have been involved in this industry for almost 10 years. And about NFT, I feel many potential and I am an advisor of Double Jump Tokyo and Animoca and Anik. And this is our third annual NFT conference and we've had some worthy guests for the climax. We have a founder of SuperRare, John Crain, and Justin. He is globally known American DJ and electronic dance music producer as Blau. And hi, Justin. And Steve Lee from BlockTower Capital. Hi, Steve. And first of all, we were able to make this session possible thanks to the cooperation of Steve. He invited John and Justin to this session. And John, Justin, and Steve, please do your introduction first.
All right, yeah, thanks for happy to be here, Mai. My name is John. I'm the CEO of SuperRare. I've been working in crypto for a little while. Before that, I was working in creative tech and advertising, and I've been a longtime generative artist, and so working on SuperRare kind of combined my two passions in art and crypto. So it's been pretty exciting. I've been to Japan twice, and I spent the most time in Osaka, which was a lot of fun. So that was DevCon. I think it was maybe DevCon 5. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I was there for about a week and a half, which was an amazing experience.
Cool, thank you. And Justin, please.
Yes, of course. My name is Justin, and my DJ alias / name is Blau with a 3. And I've been in the blockchain space now for about 6 years.
Oh, 6 years.
More actively pursuing NFTs only in the past year as a new way to showcase my music and my art. I have a very strong love for Japan. I've been maybe 4 times in my life. Wow. And I've stayed in Tokyo and Osaka. And there are a couple of Japanese artists that are very good friends of mine, including a band called One OK Rock. And they've showed me around Japan, and I'm just very excited to discuss the potential of NFTs within the Japanese music audience.
Awesome, thank you. And Steve?
Yeah, hi everyone, this is Steve from BlockTower. So I've been in crypto space since 2017. Before I was working at Goldman Sachs for about 8 years as portfolio manager and trader. Japan is almost like second home to me. So I lived in Japan when I was 5 to 10 years old, about 5 years, and then 30 to 35 years old, another 5. So I lived in Japan for 10 years. And first of all, I want to say thank you, Mai, for organizing this. And I hope that I contribute to the session by basically pulling out what the Justin and John is looking at this NFT space, which is definitely so exciting for NFT adoption in mainstream. So I'll try to do my best.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. We can have this session because of you. You support a lot. Thank you very much. And first of all, I want to ask you, John, about, I think SuperRare is a company gathering attention in this field in 2020. And I know we can find many amazing digital art on SuperRare. And I want to know why you decided to launch this platform.
Yeah, sure. So, as I mentioned, I got into generative art. I always thought it was super cool. It was sort of like when I was younger, I had sketch pads, I would draw a lot. And so once I learned that you can kind of like use computers and programming to do something similar, I was just kind of fascinated by that. So I was kind of always interested, but never, super involved in the art industry. It always felt kind of like a little bit difficult to break into. And so with SuperRare, I thought there might be an opportunity with the launch of NFTs. We have kind of digital scarcity. I thought this was going to be very critical to build, a big digital art movement. And so I think I saw that as the right time. We have kind of VR technologies getting a lot better. Digital displays are also getting cheaper, and so it kind of seemed even unrelated to NFTs that it was a big moment in time for digital art, and NFTs were kind of the catalyst for something that was going to be really big. So that was kind of the reason to start the platform.
Wow, amazing.
So now a lot of people are paying attention to digital arts and SuperRare, but I believe that you have been going through the little difficult times in 2018 or 19 because maybe your vision was not seen by the NFT people back then. Why do you think the people are starting to paying a lot more attention now or this year?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I think there's a couple of different components. So, the first being that, 2017, 2018, and 2019, the community was still pretty small. I think there was, steady growth. But at the same time, it wasn't really flashy. There weren't, no one was raising lots of money. It wasn't like, front page headlines or anything. So it was very much, kind of like grassroots, just a small organic growth. So there wasn't a lot of, flashy things to catch people's attention. And then we also, so kind of like late 2019, we saw some of these VR galleries coming online. So these are platforms like Crypto Voxels and Decentraland. And I think that was the thing that really started to catch people's attention. I think people kind of maybe disregarded digital art a little bit. And then once they started to, see, actually go on tours of these galleries in Decentraland, things started to click in their minds, that this really was something important. And then so I think that was kind of the catalyst. And then obviously in 2020, we've kind of seen just, the crypto market has gone up. So I think people's sentiment is also changing a little bit. And so a combination of those factors kind of really sparked a lot of the growth that we've been seeing.
Also, SuperRare is very famous for the very good curation and the good quality of artists. So I have one question is SuperRare recruiting the artists from the SuperRare or all the artists is coming from by themselves?
So it's a combination of both. So there's a lot of just, word of mouth, kind of people talking with their friends, telling them about SuperRare. And then, we also actively do outreach, people who we think, we love their art. We think they could really benefit from joining the community. We, reach out to them as well. So it's maybe, we have been getting a lot of applications recently, so it's probably more word of mouth than outreach, but we do a pretty good amount of that.
Yeah, thank you. Are there any Japanese artists registered on the SuperRare now?
Yeah, there's a few Japanese artists on SuperRare. I think my favorite is a pop artist named Jenny Sue. She's I have a couple pieces of hers in my collection. And
so let's move to Justin. So I think so just for audience, Justin actually is not just recent NFT artist, but he actually has been looking at the NFT blockchain space for a long time. I don't know how he can do it. He's so much doing music stuff, but he knows so much things in blockchain at the same time. I just don't know how he does that. But 2 years ago, he did sort of launch his own NFT blockchain related projects. So that's when Justin and I got connected. Justin, maybe you can share a little bit of your own background on music along with this NFT journey 2 years, 3 years ago, and how it evolves from 2 years to now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, I've always been an electronic musician. And because most of what I do is within the realm of, computers and software and different types of synthesizers, I've always had a strong fascination with technology. So in 2014, when I was introduced to Bitcoin for the first time, I was always looking for ways to apply financial technology in the music world. And then in 2017, when the Ethereum, DApp boom happened, I started exploring ways to apply, decentralized applications to music. And I decided that we were going to create a music festival that was powered by cryptocurrency. So we did a test attempt in San Francisco, and we threw a music festival with 8,000 people. And we actually created some experimental NFTs at the time, where if you had a wallet, if you had your phone, and you happened to find me at the festival, you could scan my phone and get a Blau NFT. And there were only 50 of those NFTs. So it was like a little scavenger hunt at the music festival that we ran with NFTs. And that was in 2018. So I was always really excited about the idea of digital scarcity and creating a more unique and close relationship with a fan who's very loyal and who's very dedicated. So fast forward to 2020, when a couple friends of mine had told me about the boom that was happening in the NFT art space. That's when I was connected with John, and when I decided to really pursue digital art, taking my music and creating visuals with the music to combine them in audiovisual art, which is something that not that many people had done prior. And we wanted to kind of create a two-dimensional experience instead of just a visual experience with art. And I guess final thought, one of the things that we're really excited about is creating NFTs for full-length music videos. So you have a full song and a full video clip embodied in one collectible. And that's really, really exciting to me. And it's something that we're pursuing with a lot of effort.
Great. Before I share my kind of background on NFT, maybe John and Justin, one thing that you want to share with the audience is, for John, you can share a little bit about how many artists on the platform, what is the dollar amount you've been seeing. I know you guys recently hit the 2 million numbers hit, so you can a little bit share about numbers so people understand the traction you are having. For Justin, I want you to show off a little bit about your recent sales on different platforms, from Blockparty, Nifty Gateway, as well as SuperRare. Can you just draw some numbers there so that people understand the size of this excitement directly?
Yeah, sure. So right now we have 553 artists that we're working with on SuperRare. The total, and so these artists have created about just under 15,000 artworks.
Wow.
Over the yeah, I know, pretty amazing. That's going to be a big milestone. I'm pretty excited about that. And right now the average price, which, is quite varied, for, there's things that sell for huge numbers on SuperRare, like $10,000+ and also sometimes, there's things that sell for $100. So it's quite a wide range, but the average right now is about $1,000 for a piece of art. So this is, exciting for us. We just crossed the $3 million marker earned by artists. So that's, ether that's gone directly into the pocket of artists using SuperRare over the past 2.5 years. And a lot of that happened this year. So it's definitely been exciting to see.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
That's really powerful.
Thank you. Yeah, it's humbling to even, it's pretty cool.
And Justin?
Yeah, I was just going to say that's very powerful, John. And as artists, we're thankful for platforms like SuperRare to exist, especially at a time right now when artists like myself were not touring, and performing and playing and DJing is our primary source of income and has been for the past 10 years. So platforms like SuperRare, like platforms that John has built, have enabled artists like myself to monetize and to earn income at a time when the rest of the world is shut down. And it also gives us a new, unique way to express and to display our art. And so in my case, we started experimenting 3 months ago, and our first sale, we had 3 pieces, and we generated $23,000 USD from those 3 art pieces. Our second sale was with Nifty Gateway, where we sold out of $42,000 worth of piece of art in 14 seconds, which was pretty crazy.
Amazing.
14 seconds, very quick. And one of those pieces was an auction that lasted 24 hours, but the pieces for sale sold out in 14 seconds. So that was definitely very exciting. And then right after that, I decided to, I had a mutual friend with John, and I had reached out to John. I was very excited about SuperRare because one of the things with SuperRare that's very unique is that the artist has full control over when they want to create their art. If they want to do it, if I wanted to do it right now, it would only take about 5 minutes, if not less, to put something up on the platform. And that was very powerful. So we did another piece with SuperRare a week later, and that piece was a one-of-one edition that generated 13,000. So between all the different releases, we generated about $78,000 USD in a period of 35 days, which was very, very exciting.
Awesome. Congratulations. So I think it's my next question is about me. So I will a little bit share about my experience in NFT space. So I've been looking at, or our firm is looking at the NFT space since 2018. Head of our investment has a vision that NFT is going to be very important sectors in blockchain, the crypto adoption. So I've been leading the research from my shop from 2018. So what I have been seeing so far is 2018-19, everyone's think NFT application in game sectors mainly, which is true, still true. The gaming sector is the most powerful potential sector for NFT adoptions. However, for 2 years, I've been talked to like more than 1,000 NFT projects for gaming project in blockchain space. The one thing that most of the projects are missing for adoption is quality of the game in this case. So quality means that there are a lot of smart engineers are coming into this space. However, most of them are just applying blockchain technology into gaming, which they are not familiar with. So I think the gaming or music or art, first of all, the quality of the content should be good. So art should be the good content, good quality. Games should be good quality. At least you want to play. It should be fun before talking about scaling solution and how token works. I think that's what we are missing for 2 years. But now a lot of great UI UX engineers coming in, great content creators coming in. Those who create the game in traditional game sector is coming in. Traditional artists or big artists like Justin is coming in. And the platform that curates the arts with high quality filter like SuperRare is coming in. So I think that's what we are seeing, and then adding the fuel to NFT excitement right now. And of course, the DeFi boom that many of you guys are aware is another fuel to this NFT excitement. However, I think the fundamental excitement should be around the quality of the people, quality of the artists, so content creators are coming into the space.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. So as Steve said, it is very big impact, like great artists like Justin coming in this industry. And Justin, are you talking with your artist friends about this NFT?
Yes, exactly. So when I started to issue NFTs, I think we did our first NFTs in August, I had spoken to another artist named RAC, who's a Grammy Award-winning artist here in the US. He's also very active in the crypto space, and he has been for many years, but he hadn't done anything with NFTs yet. So we were talking about it, and I said, all right, man, you should really start making your own stuff. This is what we've done. And RAC actually did his first NFT with SuperRare, and his first one ever sold for, I think, 26,000 USD, which is awesome. And now he's been working on a lot of new NFTs for the future. And then beyond RAC, there are a lot of other DJs that I've been talking to. Boys Noise also created his first SuperRare piece, and Boys Noise is very big in Europe and in the United States. And then a very famous Japanese DJ, Steve Aoki, is also starting to explore the space and starting to think about what collectibles he wants to issue. So it's definitely growing really quickly, and it's exciting to see my friends get involved.
Wow, amazing. And so last night I tweeted about this session, and I mentioned that Justin joined our conference, and I got many messages from my friends, and is it true? Is it Blau? And so you already make a big impact also Japan. So
I love that. Japan is my favorite place to come tour.
I can imagine Justin will just, or the ultra, once the things get better, it's ultra, and then you actually set the first kind of a model using NFT with the different functionality that we always talk about. I think it's going to be a good role model for all the kind of musicians in Japan, because Japan is big in this ultra, all those kind of music festivals. I think one question to John in this case, and actually with also to Justin. So to the audience, there actually not just there's one platform out there. To be honest, there are so many different crypto NFT platforms out there. So as an artist, Justin, what is kind of 3 or 2 the most important factors for you to choose the platforms over others? It could be multiple on different reasons, but maybe you can share a little bit about that. And John, as a platform creator perspective, again, I don't think that one platform can fit all needs for the NFT creators in the world. However, what are you targeting? What is SuperRare targeting to become, or what kind of platform that people want to know SuperRare as?
Sure, yeah. I think one of the most important factors in thinking about a platform for NFTs is overall quality of the pieces. And Steve, you mentioned this before. When I issue art on a platform, I would hope that all the other artists on the platform also have high quality work, so as not to dilute the experience of the collectors and buyers. So maintaining high quality, I think, is a very important feature for any platform, especially because, for association reasons, I wouldn't necessarily want my art that we've spent, hours and hours and hours and days working on next to a meme of Elon Musk, something right now. So I think that's like one of the most important things that I look for in a platform. The second most important thing is a frictionless, easy experience for the artist. So, being able to get paid out very easily, which I think actually SuperRare does better than anyone else. You receive Ethereum immediately when you accept the bid, or as long as the transaction would take. And their smart contract system is very transparent, which is very important. And not all NFT platforms are perfect in that regard. So I think, ease of use and frictionlessness in actually issuing these tokens and selling them is probably this, another very important feature that I look for when I partner with a platform. And I think the last part is communication. One thing that John and I spoke about my issuance on SuperRare a month and a half maybe before it happened. And that was really good because I learned a little bit about the platform. I got connected with another member of John's team, Zach, who helps with artist onboarding and curation and helps walk artists through how the platform works, because it can be kind of complicated for someone who hasn't explored crypto yet to use one of these platforms. And that's one thing I feel SuperRare does very well, is even if you've never worked with crypto before, even if you've never used MetaMask, SuperRare will walk you through the process of minting an NFT, minting your art, and also accepting a bid. And so for any Japanese artists out there that are interested in getting involved, it's not that hard. It just takes a little bit of time to get used to. But I definitely encourage everyone to give it a try.
Great signal. Let's go to John. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm just really glad Justin had such a good experience. It's great to hear that. And yeah, I guess Steve, your question was like, what are we striving for as a platform? And I think just generally, I think there's a big opportunity to have, like the art market is really rigid, and it's kind of, has museums involved and galleries, but like most of my friends, aren't art collectors, even though a lot of them appreciate visual art. They have really specific music tastes, but like art collecting has been this thing that, really rich people do in New York and in Hong Kong, or, like it's kind of this like very elite, system to participate in, even though a lot of it is really fun. Like it's really fun to look at visual art. It's really fun to participate in an auction. It's really fun to, be a patron and, get to know an artist that you really like. And so I think these are things that almost anyone can relate to, but it's really hard to get involved. And so when, thinking about SuperRare, what we would love to do is kind of grow the market of people who are just like grow collectors around the world, get people excited about art. And then at the same time, kind of ask questions like, what is art, right? Art could be lots of different things. I think we've seen with like what Justin's doing, if you go to Art Basel, there's not a lot of, like DJs participating and selling work, even, like at least like collectible fine art. And so I think what we're seeing is people really pushing the boundaries and saying like, well, what does it look like when art is more experiential? And so I think what we're trying to do is basically build a platform and a system that kind of supports the growth of digital art, and then also makes it more accessible to more collectors around the world.
One just follow-up question to John, actually, I think this is critical. So based on my understanding, SuperRare is, as Justin mentioned, is known for high curation process, which means there are sort of a little stricter curation process for the maintaining high quality arts on your platform. What's the kind of, do you have, as far as you can share, what's the sort of curation process you put into when you select the artists or arts on your platform?
Yeah, so it's definitely a little bit subjective. So we have a team of curators that we work with. I think there's a lot of, as much as I say like we want to expand and change the art market, I think there's a lot to draw on from the existing art markets, is like curatorial patterns. I think we're always looking for people who are trying something new, kind of like pushing the boundaries, doing something that we haven't seen before. So again, that's like with Justin and RAC, I think it's like having a more immersive art experience is incredible, and I think we're going to see more of that. So when people are just trying something we haven't seen before, telling maybe they have an interesting message they're trying to bring to light, or sort of what's driving them to create this art. So really kind of thinking about the whole like holistic art experience of the artist, and trying to build a really interesting
So,
and diverse set of art
it's a
on the platform.
Good to hear that. That means that I, as a non-artist, amateur artist, I do have some chance to get selected if I do something pushing boundaries and do some crazy, interesting stuff that is admitted by your creation team. I don't need a high college level artist education.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, let's get you on there,
All right.
Steve.
Sounds good.
Steve, I'm excited to see what you come up with.
Yeah,
me too.
So let us like step back a little bit. So this is like let's say there are a lot of Japanese audience in this conference. As Mai and you shared before, I think Japan is still like NFT concept is, I think, in the gaming sector. As you can imagine, Japan is one of the biggest gaming the country in many different the aspects. So let's take a little bit back, step back, and why you, Justin and John, think, in your kind of perspective, why people would want to own the NFT? Right.
I took Steve on stage with me at a big festival in New York called Electric Zoo, and that was a really fun time. But one of the things that we've been exploring is for some of the more rare NFTs that we issue, we would love to give fans backstage access at a show, like at an Ultra or like at a Fuji Rock. And our last NFT on SuperRare, we actually, made it so that whoever won the auction would get free tickets to a Blau show, free backstage tickets to a Blau show in the future, whichever one they wanted. So we're definitely exploring how we can add physical features to these digital collectibles. And I think the other reason why people want to own these collectibles is it's a very great way to show an artist loyalty and excitement and respect. And in the past, there haven't been that many ways for a fan to show an artist loyalty. There's either paying for a ticket to go to a performance, that's one way. Buying merchandise is another way. And listening to the music sort of shows support, but it doesn't necessarily create a lot of income for the artist. So now there's this new platform for anyone to show extreme support for their favorite artists. And in fact, most of the users who have purchased my NFTs in the past, I've followed all of them on Twitter, and I've established a stronger connection with those people that have spent time, purchasing and bidding and getting excited about my art. So I think that's the most exciting thing about NFTs is it has this potential to create a closer relationship between really big fans and artists.
Yeah, I definitely want to second that. I think it's one of the most interesting things about NFTs is there's this new way it's just a new way for people to interact with each other. And so, as a fan of a lot of the artists on the platform, it's, I feel lucky whenever I get a new piece of art and you're like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, this was special to you. You created it. Now I feel like I'm a part of it as well. And, it's this, even though it's digital, I feel like there is this kind of tactile experience just, participating. And then at the same time, using it as another, expanding the art from just, something that you're enjoying on a screen or on your computer and your headphones to, extending that experience so later on when these people get to go backstage, it's just going to make the, it extends the lifetime of the experience. And I think art's interesting in that it doesn't really have a definition. It can be lots of different things. And so it's, I think that's one of the coolest things here is just we're having fun exploring what is art again, right? I've had so many conversations around well, what is art? And it's, it means different things to different people. And I think that's what's so exciting is getting to redefine some of the boundaries for what is art.
Yes, so Steve's the idea of the NFTs for make the new royalty. And so are there any the team, for example, the festival organization team or the something like the Burning Man organization team. So are there any example of the organization is making the NFT is already happen or not yet?
Yeah, on the sort of like institutional art side, I think we're seeing a lot of interest. So recently there was a physical piece of art auctioned off at Christie's that came with the NFT. So it's not as forward thinking as just selling the NFT on its own, but at the same time, I think it's a kind of historical moment in that they still included it in the description, right? I think a lot of people were probably like, "What is an NFT?" But just the fact that Christie's is kind of putting it on their website and it's part of the auction is a huge milestone. So I think that benefits everybody who's in the ecosystem. And yeah, I think I'm getting a lot of questions. So we're have friends who are like part of these bigger institutions and they're asking lots of questions, which I think is a great sign. So they're not fully participating, but I think it's just a matter of time before they do really get involved.
Yeah, thank you.
Justin, you want to add something there?
Yeah, I think there have been a lot of other DJs that have expressed interest, and there are a lot of digital artists that are friends with my digital artist.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that does all the visuals for my art has a very large Instagram following, and so a lot of his friends have started to explore the space. But from an organization standpoint, I've had a couple discussions with bigger music festivals about collectibles that fans can earn at those festivals, which is something that we tried to do 2 years ago, and it was very exciting then, but it feels even more realistic now. So EDC and Ultra involved and talking to about how could we bring the NFT space to a music festival, and one of the things we've thought about is you can have a physical art installation at the festival that a fan can go to, and if they scan the QR code on the physical installation, it's proof that they've had that experience. And it's going to be a very exciting next 24 months in seeing how a lot of this stuff can penetrate mainstream.
Mike?
Definitely going to keep an eye out for that. That sounds super cool.
Yeah, John, we should chat about that offline. I think all the festivals are really excited about. They've already done these huge art installations. I'm sure even like Burning Man. There's no reason why someone shouldn't earn a collectible memory of experiencing that in real life. I think it's really exciting.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very looking forward to hearing update from you guys. Yeah, thank you. And so let's jump next topic. So now, yes, in 2020, so unfortunately, many people are suffering from the impact of COVID-19. And any impact of the NFT market in the current situation we live in, and how?
Yeah, so I do a lot of philanthropy work in my career. We've built many elementary schools in less fortunate countries, more specifically in Guatemala. And we raised money to build those schools with my streams. So we donate a percentage of profits from my music to building schools in Ghana, Guatemala, and Laos. And it's something that I'm really excited about. And we've always been excited about for the past, I guess it's been 4 years since we started doing that. But one of the unique opportunities in this environment, and Maya, what you said, a lot of artists are struggling a lot of creatives are struggling to make money in this environment. And I actually think that COVID is probably a part of the story. And John, you might agree with me on this, because everyone is in front of their screens more, they're not able to get out. I think it's actually accelerated the trend toward NFTs and giving more people the ability to earn income that they otherwise couldn't earn. If you're an artist in Venezuela and you have a lot of currency risk in your earnings and in your savings, you can very easily become an artist on SuperRare and earn Ethereum from your work. And that's very powerful at a time like this when a lot of people are struggling around the world. So I actually think the environment has maybe accelerated the trend a bit towards NFTs. I'm sure, John, you can speak more to that.
Yeah, it absolutely has accelerated. Even, and especially in kind of the more institutional respects as well. I think at the beginning of 2020, there was a lot of, like art world discussion, like, our online viewing rooms, do they make sense? Will anyone ever buy art on the internet? Like kind of like what seems kind of silly, but there was a lot of debate around this. And, with COVID, most of the galleries were closed. Like there was like, people were really scrambling, trying to figure out how to deal with the situation. And so, yeah, you're absolutely right. It totally accelerated a lot of the stuff, like people were thinking about it, but, it probably what might have taken 5 years, happened in a few months. Like every gallery now has an online viewing room. It just all happened super fast. And yeah, I mean, I felt like very, like kind of humbled and honored to have the opportunity to work with artists who were like, hey, my gallery's closed. Like, so that was, I think we were at like the right place at the right time and had a tool that, people found useful. And so it really accelerated sort of the, art becoming more, or like, art expanding into the digital realm. And I think it's just accelerated the process.
So I'm very happy to hear that blockchain, cryptocurrency, and NFT can support many people. Yeah, it's very.
I just want to add on by the way, for Justin's and John's this reference. So Mai is doing a lot of work on that angle since she started the Bitcoin business a few years ago. I think her one of her companies are actually basically those helping this underdeveloped or underprivileged country and children with her Bitcoin related business. So maybe in the future, you guys can collaborate and do something together for good deeds.
I would love to hear about that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That sounds amazing.
Wow, sounds amazing. Thank you, Steve.
So basically she's saying if you guys collaborate from different, specialties, I think you guys, so 1 + 1 + 1 is not 3, about like actually 100. So she's excited to doing that big stuff together.
Same. And if there are any Japanese artists that want advice on how to get involved and how to start, I'm happy to help. And I'm open on Twitter. You can just reach out on Twitter. And
wow.
I'm happy to.
This is very, very special for Japanese fans.
I love Japan, so.
If there's anything I can help out with as well, also have DMs open. So
what is your plan in the next 3 to 6 months in NFT space? Anything you'd like to talk to Japanese crypto art and music community? And how should we follow you? Maybe Twitter? Yeah, this is last question.
So right now we're the next 3 to 6 months, we're launching a new improved auction system. So we're all pretty excited about that. I think it'll be pretty fun. It's been something that we've been dying to have for a really long time. And we're also working on some interesting display solutions. So kind of just doing experimentation around the UX and, what does it mean to have, your art in your home? I think there's a lot of fun stuff to do there. So we're having a great time. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, just, trying to expand and, get more people excited about digital art.
Yeah, that's very cool. So if I have this device, I can show my friends my art, right? That like a display, right?
Yep, exactly.
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I actually, if you guys can see, they're not on right now, but I put some of my art on the screens behind me on the wall.
Amazing.
So
wow.
This is going to be I have a painting over there. Yeah, this is kind of my little art corner in my house. And I'm very excited as well about physical solutions for digital art. There are a lot of really cool companies doing interesting things, and yeah, over the next 3 to 6 months, some of the stuff that we're working on is a full-length music video as a collectible, which is really exciting. It's going to take a lot of time and a couple of animators, so it's like a team effort. But that's something that we're excited about, and I think we're also working on something kind of unique. There's new technology that enables laser projection, so you can have a laser actually replicate the digital art on your wall. So you can program the laser with my art, and it can be the size of an entire wall in your house. And something that we've been experimenting with, and it looks really cool. I've posted it to my stories on Instagram, and
Super cool.
So just as John and Justin mentioned a few good point, for my closing, I'll mention one thing. For this conference is Japan Content Conference. So basically, as Justin and John mentioned throughout the session, I think one thing that in audience, so NFT is not just a gaming. It's, as you see, the art and music and gaming, all the content is actually interoperable right now. And plus, is NFT gives the opportunity to go beyond just owning stuff. Justin mentioned few, and then now you are merging with the physical world. So a lot of opportunities in this NFT space. Japan is known for amazing manufacturing, the business. So maybe you can, some high quality manufacturing company who's in this audience, you can work with Justin to craft this small device. So there are a lot of things that people can participate in this NFT excitement and wave in as a content creator or device, the manufacturer or artists or musicians or investors like myself. So the point is, if you have this content within NFT, the boundary is basically, there's no boundary. So, I'm really happy that Justin and John is making a difference in the space. As investors, I keep communicate with Justin and John and basically to help them to navigate the space better, because in crypto space, as you know, idea is great, but also you have to ride on the right wave in the right timing. So I, as investors, I'll try to put the value to those two creators to maximize their strength. So, and then one last thing is to follow Justin and John. You guys can follow them on Twitter's. SuperRare website is super cool. Definitely check it out. Our BlockTower website does not have much information, so there's nothing much to check out, but you can follow me on Twitter too, so we can actually explore potential opportunities.
Thank you, Steve. And thank you all, Steve and John and Justin for the great story today. And TBCC, this conference gets more and more spectacular every year with the size of the event and the guests. And we will do our best to put on the elaborate and more amazing event in 2021. So thank you again for today.
Thanks, Mike, for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Bye.